channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Christina, aka That Writer. Today we're doing a bit of a different video. We're doing more of a walk and talk sort of a video, basically letting y'all know what's going on. So this past week it's been my finals week for my first 5-week session with my degree program. We're in the last semester, we're almost there. We're going to be done in December. So it's been busy. I had a final exam that I had to take, and then we had like a final group project to work on. It was just too much to be filming, and between school and work, it was a lot. There were some 12-13 hour days thrown in there, but thankfully everything's fine on that front now. It's gonna be much more chill. I'll have 2 more classes after these 2 are done. One starts in a little over a week, and then the other one doesn't start until like November. But I wanted to give you all an update on that. But the bigger update is that things are going to look a little bit different here on the channel much sooner than I thought. So remember back in July how we had the Grand Escape out of Ohio when we ranked a bunch of states and we talked about that a little bit? Well, it's happening a lot sooner and not really how I expected it to go. But I think it's more in a good way. And so we're going to dive into some of the reasons for moving this year as opposed to next year at least. What sort of led up to that and the timeline and all that good stuff. So grab your snacks, grab your choice of beverage, get comfy and cozy. And let's walk and talk about, well, the moving situation that's going to be coming up soon. So when I moved into my new apartment last year, around November 2021, I moved around Thanksgiving. Everything was fine for the first 3-4-ish months, I would say. But then over time I started hearing a lot of shouting and disagreeing, and it was really escalating nearby. I'm like, what do I do here? This is just not sounding healthy and unsafe. It wasn't sounding good at all. So that was the first concern. And then it just kind of got to a point where I realized there was a soundproofing issue with the building to where I could hear everything. We're talking my neighbor drops something in the kitchen while they're cooking and I can hear that. It's ridiculous. And with my past 2 apartments, I haven't had any issues with noise or anything like that. And that was a good 3.5 years or so, I would say. So no noise issues up until this apartment in particular. There's no soundproofing. So that's one big issue. And just, again, hearing all those not healthy arguments all the time, I think that is justifiable enough because you're trying to sleep, you're trying to work from home, you're trying to do all these different things from home, right? Right. So that was reason number 1 and the early part of the timeline to set up the stage for some problems later on. So going into the second point and reason why we're moving is the summertime shenanigans arc, right? So basically around mid-April or so, everything started to open up, just different events around the area, and people have been kind of cooped up for the last couple of years because of the global situation, and we've had a lot of issues with parties and that sort of thing. And it's only gotten worse over time. I don't know how it's gotten worse, but it's just gotten worse as it's been cooling off here. But last night, for example, I was just chilling in the apartment, getting ready for bed, and there's people outside partying, and I woke up at 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning because it's Saturday and I have weekends off. And these people are still going. I'm like, what is going on here? But anyway, we've had the pool party people, as we've affectionately referred them to, / the idiots outside who have been just unrelenting with no. We're talking about they're spilling it into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Yes, I almost just tripped. It happens. It is what it is. But it got to a point where I couldn't even enjoy my days off, with my weekends, because they would just make all this noise, and then it trickles into the overnight with handfuls of people here and there, and it's just a whole mess. And don't y'all worry, the tracks are inoperative. But basically, the pool party people were going into the overnight. They would just go until 3-4 o'clock in the morning. People were having parties in their apartments. starting like even while I was working on like Thursday, Friday afternoons and stuff. And I'm like, I get that people are going to take time off of work, but like, be a little bit mindful. I don't know if that makes any sense, because it's like you're living, like you have upstairs neighbors, downstairs neighbors, neighbors to the sides, you know. You never know. We've got a lot of people that work from home still. I work from home, and I enjoy working from home and would like to remain working at home as much as I can. But it got to a point where I couldn't relax. I couldn't enjoy staying in my own apartment because you would just hear the music. It felt like an EDM concert for 2, 3, 4 days at a time. And it's just gotten unbearable. And I think that alone is worth moving for, because I'm like, if this is going to be like this for like 6, 7 months out of the year at minimum, I don't want this. I don't want to listen to this. And it's like, for me, even though I'm home a lot, you know, I would enjoy my days off and, you know, enjoy a Netflix day or just enjoy chilling in the apartment. But how can I chill in the apartment and relax and enjoy my days off when you've got people outside turning the entire complex into like a spring break style party 2, 3, 4 days a week sometimes. It was getting overwhelming, and I'm like, I thought we let this go a few years ago in college. And even then, I was just constantly working in college. And then grad school was chill, and then this round of grad school, I don't know how I've managed it this far with all the noise. I'll be completely real. I don't know how we're doing it. It's because of headphones like this. I'm also getting a new pair of headphones today because these are starting to fizzle out on me. So that's fun. But yeah, noise concerns, main issue. But that leads us up into the lease renewal. So my lease was up for renewal around mid-August, I would say. And they were like, yeah, we're going to raise your rent by $225, $230 with the increase in your utilities each month. And I'm like, okay, boosting utilities, no problem, but what improvements have been made to the living situation in the few months that we've been here, knowing that all of these problems are happening with the building? You know, it made no sense to me. And a lot of other people saw that too, and they had the same problem, because I was overhearing all these different conversations, you know, from the summertime and into today. And like, shoot, just since I've been here, we've had like so many new neighbors because of people moving in and out constantly. And so when I got that, it was kind of like the final nail in the coffin for me to move. I'm like, I need to find something that's chill, quiet, has some kind of soundproofing, and doesn't cost an additional 200 some odd bucks a year, unless if it happens to be a 2-bedroom apartment, which, you know, that would make sense if I was able to move into maybe another unit or something like that. But even then, I wouldn't even do it, because I'm like, you know what, we're getting out of here. This is like, it kind of forced a decision in a way, which in hindsight I'm thankful for. But like, just given the trajectory and just how things have been going, I'm like, honestly, anything would be considered an upgrade at this point. So I was looking for apartments online and, you know, looking around my area especially. And there were a lot of open apartments, mainly because Cincinnati right now, it's the worst city for all the rent hikes and stuff that have just been happening across the country and that sort of thing. So the search went on. So from about roughly mid-August towards the end of August, I was in a scramble to try to look for somewhere to go, because I'm like, I'm not going to stay here and pay this much for all the crap that we've had to put up with, right? And again, no improvements, nothing. I'm like, if they would have started improving things a little bit, then maybe, but I'm like, that's just too much in like 1 year to ask for somebody, or from somebody, I should say. And especially given that they're well aware about all this, it makes it even worse. And so that brings us to like mid-August to the end of August. I was like, I need to find something as soon as possible. And so I was thinking, okay, well, let's go on Google Maps. Let's see what's in about a 5-mile radius or so. And pretty much all of Cincinnati, like, their prices are ridiculous right now. Much of like the main cities in Ohio, in terms of their rent prices, are just absolutely ridiculous. Like, I should not be charged like borderline Chicago prices just to live in Ohio. And it gets worse the more north you go. Like, if you look at Columbus prices, like, they're pretty awful. Cleveland prices are probably just as bad, if not potentially worse, for apartments, depending on which area. But even so, a lot of people are leaving those two areas to move to places like Cincinnati and that sort of thing for a multitude of reasons. But now you've got the issue of people in Cincinnati. We're kind of sick of it here, and we're sick of the rent increases and not really seeing any improvements or anything like that. And so where's the next best stop? Across the river in northern Kentucky. So my search took me to northern Kentucky, and I'm pleased to say that we are moving into northern Kentucky. We're having a second Kentucky arc, but I've never lived in northern Kentucky before, so it's going to be a very interesting experience, to say the least. But I'm really looking forward to it. And to kind of clarify a little bit, basically moving from Cincinnati itself into northern Kentucky, it's kind of like the equivalent of like moving into the suburbs, because it's all counted in one big, huge, like metropolitan area. So it's pretty much all known as like the greater Cincinnati area. It's pretty much just, you know, the suburbs to the south, essentially. So I just want to like clarify that. We're not moving like a huge distance or anything like that. It's really just a few miles at most. On one hand, there's always, you know, that little bit of like, oh, I'm a little nervous to move, you know, to a different city, different state, you know, all that stuff. When I lived in Kentucky, I lived in Lexington, Kentucky, which is central Kentucky. I've never lived in northern Kentucky, but my 2 years in Lexington were just utterly fantastic. Everyone was just amazing, super chill, and the community really shined through for me. And that's like the one thing that I will always say, you know, positive things about with regards to Kentucky, right? Because it's like everyone was just always very chill, very easygoing, and I'm very socially awkward. You know, the social anxiety and all that. Like, I'm very awkward around people, but they always made you feel like you could just, you know, have a nice conversation, and it was always very friendly, genuine, etc. So there's that. But we will be moving to northern Kentucky starting November 1st. My lease is technically overlapped by 3 weeks, so I have until the 21st to be fully moved out. But I booked the movers yesterday, and we're gonna get everything moved out on November 10th. That's the day before Veterans Day, so I figured it might be a good idea to move right before the long weekend, because I have off that, you know, Friday and into the weekend, of course. So that's pretty much where we're headed next. I pick up the keys on the 1st, and then we'll have everything all moved out on the 10th. There's still a couple of extra pieces and parts that I have left to do. Like, I have to get a clearance letter, which says that I'm legally allowed to leave Ohio and establish residency somewhere else, because I need that piece of paper to get a new ID and that sort of thing. But a lot of that sort of more paperwork, change of address type of stuff, I can't really do until like October / about 30 days before I fully move. So we still got a few things left to do, but I think overall we're doing pretty good. But we can definitely breathe a little easier knowing that this is all moving forward. So within 5 to 6 weeks, brand new apartment, brand new city, brand new state. It's gonna be really exciting. I'm excited to show y'all what the apartment looks like. I had like photos and like a virtual tour, because I couldn't make it over during business hours, because that's when I work. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go for the next best option. But I have walked around the neighborhood, and it is very chill and very cozy. And I don't know, it just really vibed with me, I think. The best way to kind of describe this apartment, first of all, the balcony's staying, which I know that might have raised some, you know, oh my gosh, are you going to be able to keep the balcony questions, right? Rest assured, the balcony's staying. But the new place is kind of like if my last apartment and the current apartment had a child. We're losing a little bit of square footage, but that's more than okay, because right now I have about 800 square feet. Dude, I can't even fill up like every single little nook and cranny of that 800 square foot apartment. I can't. I only use up half of my closet. It's like, what is this, you know? But it's 730-ish square feet, and it's just a very cozy apartment, and I'm really looking forward to it. It almost has like a townhouse condo kind of vibe to it, and I don't know, it's really cute, and I'm here for it. So I'm really excited to kind of do maybe more of these moving segments, moving vlogs with y'all. My apologies if you can hear all the extra noise in the background. There's like all kinds of events happening here in Cincinnati today. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on. But before I let everybody go, I've got a bit of a bathroom haul that I pre-recorded at home, just to kind of give you all like, you know, a little unboxing, you know, what we got for the new bathroom type of situation. So without further ado, let's go to the bathroom haul. All right, so first things first, we have a couple of these like plastic, oh, I just dropped the lid, little container things. I was gonna use these for proper Band-Aid storage and for Q-tips, or at the very least use it for Q-tips, because dude, like once you get like a whole thing of Q-tips, like you're not gonna use them all like at once or anything like that unless you're working on a project. So I'm like, I'm gonna just have a little nice little storage thing for them. I got a new toothbrush holder. I just thought it was really cute, and I'm like, you know what, my current one's looking a little rough, so for sanitary purposes, we're gonna get a brand new one. We also got these really adorable soap dispensers. I was going back and forth. I'm like, do I want something that's like opaque or do I want something that's more transparent? And I'm really glad that I went with this one. It's just really, really cute. And yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the shape of it, and it kind of fits in with the rest of the shower curtains and the towels, and you'll see everything like that coming up too. There are 2 total dispensers, so I'm gonna use one in the bathroom and one in the kitchen, I think, because again, it kind of ties in with the kitchen, so there is that. And we have towels. I'm really excited about these because I was like, I kind of want like blue or green, you know, something to kind of go along with the cool colors that we have going on in the bathroom, because right now I have purple towels, and I'm like, I kind of want to have like a brand new extra set, because I have some towels that are like years old that are just not looking too good that I haven't really used. So I'm like, you know what, we're gonna get these teal towels. They were on sale, they were really cute, and I'm like, you know what, let's just go for it. It never hurts to have an extra set of towels, and we're gonna keep the purple ones because they're still pretty good. But it's nice to have towels to kind of rotate out with. Obviously, we have a shower liner. And then I don't know how well you can see it, but it's kind of got like this triangle-ish pattern to it. But we have another black and white curtain, because I like my neutral shower curtains now, because it's nice to kind of like change the colors of like the towels and stuff like that. But like I like having a couple of neutral items just to kind of balance it out a little bit. I'm obviously not gonna like unpack it all because it's a shower curtain and those things are huge. And then, oh, speaking of towels, we need somewhere to put our towels on. And then right here, we have a little towel rack thing. You put it over the door, and it just sort of gives you, you know, 5 little hooks right here. And like if you have a larger towel, you can kind of space them out. So that's kind of my plan with that. And it's rust proof and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's the bathroom haul. I have other toiletries, but that's not the fun stuff. Pretty cool, right? So like I've mentioned, we're upgrading, we're just downsizing. So there's that. I hope everyone's staying safe and staying healthy. Please leave a like, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, ignore the people in the background, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.